you know, your story is really quite amazing, because I admire you for coming through it.
I'm going to be honest with you. School and those moments after school when I became almost terminally unemployable were difficult. They were hard. Yeah. And I was constantly told at school I couldn't. I was told I was stupid. I was told there wasn't any point in trying. This was reinforced over and over again. There's no point in trying. You can't do it. And it was only, I suppose, an inbuilt bloody-mindedness, a sort of a stubbornness that I had. And as a child, I remember having to make little distinctions in my head between what it was to be clever and what it was to be intelligent. Because clearly I wasn't clever. Clearly, everyone told me I wasn't clever. I wasn't getting the marks at school. But I didn't believe that I was as stupid as I was being told I was. And so I had to tell myself, I'm not clever, but I'm intelligent, and that's different. And I used to have to go through these sort of hoops, jump through these little gymnastic hoops I've created for myself. Because, school as Nick would tell you, I mean, Nick's your son, and he would tell you school was torture, I guess. It was
only the first year was bad.
Right.
Only the first year. And I've really got to school him up and say, Nicholas, say this, because this is what you remember. Because, you know, after that, when he was 7, I had that time with him, and that was transformative. But if he hadn't had that time, his schooling and yours would have been the same.
Yeah. Now, I mean, just very quickly, I have your book here. It's an excellent book. One of the reasons it's an excellent book is that you don't have to read it from cover to cover. And as somebody with dyslexia, I find starting a book and looking at how many pages there are to read quite a frightening experience. And this isn't like that at all. And it goes in sections. It goes in sort of realizing that there's an issue, to finding out what that issue was, to building and creating something that can actually work. Would you like to just talk about that for 2 seconds?
Yeah, I can do. Yeah. Because, you know, her really nasty statements were so positive, ended up being so positive. And it really, but I needed the background of working with Nicholas for 6 months to see that he was smart, to see where the problem lay.
And you know, he had that same problem, that he was told he wasn't smart, but he was smart.
Yeah. And I never thought Nicholas was, I didn't think he had low IQ, but I didn't think ever PhD Oxford. Never. Not possible.
Yeah. I mean, as you know, I'm doing my doctorate at the moment, and I have never taken an IQ test because I don't want to, because I've had it put into me that the chances are I'm going to have a really low IQ or something. And
I totally agree with you. I would never do a dyslexia test for the same reason.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
I've had enough of that in my life. And my sister said to me, Lois, why do you say that? That's what you grow up with. And it moves me to tears now.
Yeah. And people who know me, they can be a little bit surprised at how negative I can sometimes be about myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not my fault. That's not what I'm saying. You know, we make choices within certain boundaries about how we refer to ourselves. But I do recognize that even if it's only in humor, I'm quite negative about my abilities or lack of abilities. And this is something which I've carried with me from school. You know, there's no point in saying I'm good at something, because clearly, by all the rubrics, by all the frameworks, by all the measurements they put in place, I'm destined for failure. And that's a tough thing for a child to learn.
Yeah. And you know, it's the foundational years. And once they're in that hole, it's very, you know, it's climbing out of a well.
Yeah.
You know, really and truly, you know. So I'm just so thankful. My son was so privileged, really, in the end. So that's why I double my efforts with children who struggle.